this point. It's like,
why is that?
I don't know. It's a silly, stupid thing. But so is this whole racket. You know what I mean? The whole racket. The whole system. The whole racket. Yep. See? Pops up on the other station. Makes me think it's because the Tony Soto show is so popular.
I believe it. I forget how popular you are.
Listen, mumbles. All right. Hello, YouTube. How are you? It's Casey and I back again to do another rousing GPHH for your entertainment. So if you do take the time to watch us, maybe not live, maybe you're not into us live, maybe you don't want to see us at the moment we're talking. I get it. But you know, if you're one of the 7 or 8 that tune in afterwards, it's good to see you. Welcome back. We do. The thing is like, Casey, we don't mention that we have a YouTube channel on the show.
That's your role, though, to tell the people what they want to need to hear. You know what I mean? I'm the color commentary guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. How quickly how badly I want to forget. But
you're the nuts and bolts guy. I'm the tap dancer.
My God. Well, listen, YouTube. I hope that you enjoy. Strap yourselves in because this is going to be a wild ride. The world's not getting any better. Casey, do you want to go ahead and start?
Yep.
I'm going to go ahead and pull up my timer here. I'm going to give you a little 4, a 3.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Gay Power Half Hour, the only gay podcast on the internet that's just like the new variant of COVID, because we'll have you seeing pink with Casey Lai and Mr. Pink Eye himself.
No, not ever. Hi, I'm Tony Soto. Pink Eye free. Pink Eye free, Tony Soto.
You're the one who said Pink Eye was a gay rampant issue because of all the dirty butt eating, and you said you love to do it. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
Okay. All right. Well, we're coming in hot, which I love. I love a show where we come in hot, especially when it talks about analingus or whatnot. I never said that it was running rampant. I was just saying that when a gay comes up to me and they mention they have pink eye, I immediately think, well, you should do better about when you're going down on some butthole, because it is because
how do you do it better? You smell like you don't do it better. You gotta wipe.
Smell.
You bring a wipe.
There's a process. First of all, if you excuse yourself to the restroom, like when you get to the house, I'm like, oh, all right, well, someone's planning something here. But I don't do analingus on like a rando that I just meet out, because you can't trust these gay people. They're not right. They're not prepared. A lot of people.
That seems some like right wing rhetoric. You can't trust.
No,
these
that's
gay
just
people?
Someone who doesn't want to taste poo when they're going down on some butthole. I feel like it's a completely natural thing.
Agreed.
And the thing is like more often than not, if we're talking true things, people who you meet out for rando nights aren't always ready.
Yeah, I know. Well, I don't understand. Well, then why are you going right for the butthole? I don't understand if they're not, if you're just meeting them out right about. Anyway, the point is there's a new COVID variant out there. It gives you pink eye.
So it's not just analingus anymore.
I don't think that's the number one way people get it. I think you get it from like your if you're a gay person, I would say half the people are getting it from their nieces that they go that because kids are getting it all the time at schools. Conjunctivitis.
Well, yeah, kids are disgusting. But first of all, stay the fuck up. Quit doing butterfly kisses with your fucking niece, you weirdo. Like that's just
that's the weird thing.
Yeah. It's first of all, it's it's weird. I've gotten pink eye. I've gotten a bad case of pink eye once, and that was because I was riding a bike a lot in Chicago and
too much exercise.
Wearing I was too my body had to be like, oh, you're so gorgeous elsewhere, let's give you a pink eye. But no, so like I I would notoriously fall asleep in my contact lenses, but I would also like bike with no kind of eye shield. So like I was getting all kinds of crap in my eyes going to sleep. And ultimately it was because of that. Like I had to like pull out but it's not pleasant. And to circle back on this new COVID variant that you just tried to make off flip, we need to be serious about this. COVID is not gone. And the truth of the matter is if you're worried about your kids, it's coming for your kids. They say that this is like affecting the kids more often. I don't know why we're trying to save these kids when the planet obviously wants them gone.
Yeah, COVID's doing its darndest to do what, various other diseases and people haven't been able to do, which is kill your kids. COVID is the new doomsday mom because it's coming to kill your kids. I was reading that the bivalent vaccine is supposed to take care of it. So if you got that latest vaccine, when did you get your last vaccine?
A couple of months ago. Like
have you had 6?
Huh?
Have you had 5 or 6 shots?
I think I've had 6 shots. Yeah, I'm loaded up. Like, and yet to my knowledge, have gotten it. Like, never gotten it. So, but
you do have 6 tracking devices inside you now, which is like really crazy. And do you think they're all firing?
I mean, I definitely glow in the dark, and I've been watching more CNN lately. So you know how disappointed I am now that poor Don Lemon is gone. Are you at all concerned with what? So big news in cable news. If you are a fan of the 24-hour news cycle, both liberal and conservative cable news channels suffered great loss this week. We lost Don Lemon, and the great Tucker Carlson was let go.
Tuck boy, all the Tuck and the Lemon, the Lemster.
Now, first of all, I guess I don't. Here's the thing. Here's what I love. It's like all these right wingers are like, yeah, well, your boy Don Lemon. I don't know. I know Don Lemon, but I don't watch CNN. So I don't watch a show. I mean, I know he's been around for a long time. I know she's family. But like, she got fired because she puts her foot in her mouth because they say she's a bit of a misogynist.
Well, she said that he said women aren't in their prime after their.
He said Nikki Haley wasn't in her prime. Well,
no, but he blanket stated women, and which is funny because isn't he like 71 years old? He just looks.
He's really very good. Old. He's a lot older than yeah. I remember. I don't know how old he is. I don't remember, but I remember when I found out how old he is. I was like, damn.
He's in his 50s.
Yeah. But like. He was like Nikki Haley's not in her prime, and then he was like, if we're talking prime, I don't know what he was. I don't know if he was talking about like birthing prime, or because if he's talking like career prime, obviously that's a really really stupid statement to say. He could have said political prime. He could have, because like she's not politically, like what is she done?
Yeah, well, I mean, she was the governor of a state and the ambassador to the UN. I mean, it's like
but under Trump. So
fair.
Like, so my thing is if you worked under Trump's administration, I'm like, I'm not going to sit here and pat you on the back for it. What'd you do? You sat on your fucking ass for the whole time and did nothing.
Yeah. Like, you let the country deteriorate into chaos. Thank you.
Yeah. So sorry, Nikki, you're not getting my vote. So like, I mean, I understand where he was coming. I feel like every time that Don has put his foot in his mouth, it was coming from, he was actually talking about politics and not fucking like trying to be divisive, not trying to be divisive.
Yeah, but then to just okay, go ahead.
We've fast forward to Tucker, who spent a career being divisive, like his whole career. And he was fired from 3 different cable news channels. Like he worked for
the
MSNBC.
trifecta. Yeah.
I think he worked for CNN. Is that right?
CNN, that was Crossfire. MSNBC. He was like the Republican jerk. And then Fox, where he was king of all the douchebags.
Yeah. How do you feel about this, Casey Lai?
Well, I've never really been the biggest fan of Don Lemon. I thought he was always a fucking lightweight. And I've never been a fan of politics or news where you like, I don't understand why CNN fucking yelly opinion people get to think they're better, just because I agree they're better than Fox people, because Fox people are literally trying to destroy the world, and to spew racist fascist bullshit. But like, CNN for a minute during the Trump years were like, well, we're gonna get R-rated, we're gonna grow our ratings by being louder and angrier, because that's gonna reflect our audience, and then it just helped. Then we got Chris Cuomo and fucking Don Lemon squealing all over the place.
But is Don a journalist? Like, is he an actual news person?
I mean, is Anderson Cooper?
Because Tucker isn't. Yeah, Anderson Cooper was. Yeah,
but he was also he was also like the host of The Mole 30 years ago or whatever. So like,
yeah, but he also reported live from war scenes. You know what I mean? Like he was like he did his job as like an on scene reporter.
I think Tucker was trained as a journalist back in the day.
But in a court of law, it was said that his show was in fact not a news show. Like a court of law said that.
I mean, I think it's been, it's been one of the great disgraces of the last 20 years, or whenever CNN fucking started, that, probably it wasn't quite the beginning of CNN, but it was when opinion started to dominate on all those channels. I mean, to have those things be sold as news has contributed to the souring of the mind of everyone here in the country. So I'm not sad to see either of them go. Tucker is a scary, terrible person. Don's just kind of like, I don't know how it's just, the only reason we're lumping them together is because they got fired on the same day.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like you see a lot of the conservative right being like, oh yeah, your boy Don Lemon. And I'm like, first of all, not a CNN watcher. And like, I don't care that he got fired, because I don't lift my fucking news channel pundits to a level of some kind of like, I don't put him on that kind of a pedestal. And here's the thing about Tucker, like, he's financially sound. Let's just say that. If you don't want to fucking talk about the fact that he came from Swanson money, he's financially sound. Let's just say that. And he's not gone. Like, and the thing is when he comes back, he's going to come back on the internet. And these mouth breathers that watch Fox News also have a computer. So yeah, I don't understand why we think that because he's not on Fox News anymore, that suddenly the world's a little safer.
I think it's because of the influence of like the people that he is really going to. Fox News, the people who are getting all their information on the internet are not the people who are watching Fox News. The Fox News watchers are the olders, the old whites, the old racist whites.
And Tucker's are the fucking extremists. Let's be honest. Tucker's got.
But extremism is Fox. I mean, that's. I don't even know what that means anymore when it comes to the Republican Party. Because
Alex Jones isn't gone, is all I'm saying. Like, he's still on the internet. You know what I mean? So yeah,
I think Tucker will be like Alex Jones, but I think again, it's like, Bill O'Reilly went from being, the biggest name in fucking cable news to being a fucking guy who writes books and he has a podcast. I mean, to go from being the number one person on cable news to not having a job is a big,
what do you want? Your career. Well, here's a question. What do you think about that? Because this isn't, people want to give Fox a pat on the back and they're like, oh, is Fox doing the right thing for once? Or sorry, this isn't the first time Fox News has done this. That you mentioned Bill O'Reilly. They've done this. They've canceled their number one top rated person before and it has nothing to do with their moral status, in my opinion. And I'm interested in what you think, because Tucker cost them almost $800 million. Like, when you cost someone that kind of money, that's going to hit you somewhere. Because listen, Rupert's rich, but you will feel almost 800 million. Like, I don't care. Listen, it's that's not just a drop in the pail. And I don't know how much Rupert's worth, but they wanted 1.6. Let's not forget.
Yeah. So, I think that the money is, they have, it's not just Fox, it's News Corp. They have billions and billions and billions of dollars. I think that the reason Bill O'Reilly was fired and Tucker were fired is because if you scratch below the surface, you'll find a lot of women who have been treated like fucking shit for fucking years.
Well, that's a new story that just came out. Yeah,
but that's real. I mean, like
that
Tucker
came
Carlson,
out as a result. Yeah,
but it's not a business decision, because if it was just a business decision and they were like, or an ethical decision on what was being said, like a news issue, that would not be the issue. It's because it's a human resources issue, because all of a sudden when you have various lawsuits claiming some really terrible thing. I mean, Fox was trying to reestablish itself as after Roger Ailes got kicked out and died, from being a groomerville. When you have to attack groomers, it's not helpful to have a bunch of groomers running around your office. You know?
I mean, like, look deep, it's going to be there. But the thing is like, and if people don't know, we're talking about, like, since the firing, a female employee has come out recently saying that she has, like, all kinds of proof on, like, why it was a miserable work environment. Like,
that's been out for a while. No, that was after the Dominion lawsuit.
And this lady was literally just interviewed today talking about because it's the same person that's, like, coming for Ted Cruz right now, right? Like, it's not the same person.
I don't fucking know.
Ted, it's like there's an audio tape now of Ted Cruz talking about the only way to stop the inauguration is to, like, contest the fucking inauguration, basically saying that January 6th needed to happen in order to have it. A lot of people need to be scared right now, is what I'm saying, because once it's like dominoes, once a big thing falls, another thing falls, another thing falls, because people just start talking.
Well, there's it's this Abby Grossberg person who was the producer for Tucker Carlson, who also produced for Maria Bartiromo, or whatever the fucking terrible woman on Fox's name is. And so she knows where all the fucking bodies are buried and has all the receipts. And they were trying to throw her under the bus. And I fucking hate these people. It's like Michael fucking Cohen. I fucking hate this fucking schmuck, because on the one hand, like, they loved it as they were a part of it and making all the fucking money off of it, and have no problem fucking ruining the world as long as they were getting theirs. And then all of a sudden they come under a little bit of fire, and then they're like, oh no, everyone's bad. It's like, of course everyone was fucking bad. They were bad the entire time, and you were fucking bad too.
But didn't Cohen go to jail? But didn't Cohen go to jail
for 6 weeks, and then he got out because of COVID.
But here's the thing: like, you got to, regardless of, like, yes, have your opinions about Michael Cohen, but, like, I don't think he falls in this realm, because he was punished for what he did, regardless of if you don't think he was there long enough. Like, he went to court, he was punished, and now he's coming out and he's saying good things. He's testifying for the right things. Tucker Carl, you have to, once you're held accountable, I feel like then you should be able to make new mistakes. But, like, there's no accountability on Tucker's part at this point. There's no accountability on Fox News. But is that accountability? Because he's not going to be gone. And that's the thing. And, like, Fox was, like, flowery with the fucking fire, and we're gonna wish him well. And
that was shady, like, I thought.
I don't need Fox News to be shady. All right. I need.
What do you need them to be?
I need them to be, like, if they're trying to be a reputable news.
They're not.
I mean, but they are. Okay. We know they're not, but they are. They've been wearing that mask since they started. So regardless of what they really are doing, I need Fox News to come out and be like, we are a joke. Everything we say is wrong, and because that statement that they released after fucking paying out almost $800 million was not a statement of any kind of guilt.
Because they didn't have to, because they paid $800 million to not have to, and that's how fucking the law works. And it's bullshit.
Fucking bullshit. Yes,
but it is what it is. And I mean, Tucker getting fired is a big. It was a major event that didn't need to happen. I mean, what it turns out, he said he called a bunch of women. He called his bosses the C word, essentially, and he said there were a bunch of fucking liberals who were fucking working against the brand or stuff like that. So he was like, he's talking shit about his bosses. That only goes so far. He thought he was invincible. Rupert Murdoch is also, I think, probably losing his mind. I mean, he's fucking getting married, not getting married, firing, not getting fired, saying he's going to go to trial, not going to trial. He's 92 years old. and we want him running a fucking, and we're okay with a 92-year-old. All these fucking assholes love Rupert Murdoch and want to suck his dick, and then they say, oh, but Joe Biden is 81 and he can't run anything. We got 10 years older, way nuttier, running one of the biggest fucking media companies in the world.
Listen, I'm voting for the 84-year-old. You don't got to yell at me about it. I'm voting for the
81. He will be 81 on election day.
Now that, well,
all he needs to do is win. He can die afterwards. FDR won, and then he died, and we still won World War II thanks to a nuclear weapon. That's what we need to happen. We need Kamala to drop a nuclear bomb on Iowa, and then we'll win the war.
Breaking news, everyone listening. Joe Biden has finally announced the inevitable. I don't know why we ever questioned that he wouldn't. And look, regardless of how you feel about how far his accomplishments have gone, if he's actually pushed this, if he's kept campaign promises and whatnot, say what you want, but as quickly as you guys want to forget that a pandemic happened and our country was at full stop for quite some time, he has done some notable things that have pulled us out. When inflation was 10% at its highest and we're down to 5%, that's momentum. I don't understand what people want. Like within his first term, that's good improvement. Inflation's a tricky thing, but I'm just saying, like, I'm voting for the grandpa. And I think that liberals need to stop playing by our regular playbook, put the Marianne Williamson aside, and play like Republicans and just stick with the old man for another 4 fucking years.
Well, I mean, there won't be any other option except for Marianne Williamson and perhaps John,
they're not debating
the other Kennedy.
Biden's
because
administration. He's not.
Why
debating.
Why would you debate Marianne? It was different when she was one of 11 people, but now she'll just fucking cool. And honestly, fuck, I was like, I didn't know enough about Marianne Williamson in the beginning to hate her, you know. And I was like, oh, why not have a woman up there talking about love? But she's a fucking snake oil salesman, and she always has been. And she was.
She's a spiritualist.
She tried to get people to pray their AIDS away in the AIDS crisis. So she's a bad person.
I'm completely aware. Listen, Marianne has a way of talking and getting people's attention and saying layered top, like flowery things that can get you. You're right. She's a snake oil salesman. She's a preacher. Is what she is.
She's a new age. She's a new age spiritual.
Yeah, she's a new age preacher. Like it's a lot of spiritualism. It's a lot of breath will help you. like that kind of shit.
Take a deep breath, and then you don't need to take your AIDS meds. You'll be fine.
So, but regardless, there are going to be some left leaners that are going to be like, we need a third party, or we need to start. Well, she's not running as a third party. She's running as a Ralph Nader. So we need to
She's not running as anything. She's running as a Donald Trump. She's running to build her brand. Okay, so I don't want anyone else to think that she's anything other than that. And also, same thing. We're fucking Robert F. Kennedy III. He's running I don't even know, for the Democratic nomination. I don't know what he's running for, but he's running to make sure that everyone has pink eye in this country, not taking a vaccine. So there's another real fun fucking platform. And I thought the best thing that happened on Biden's announcement day was that Bernie Sanders endorsed him immediately. And I think that does undercut a lot of people who would be like, it's a clear option.
And also it's like, there are other elections that are at stake right now, and we have to look unified as Democrats, so that way, like, some Republicans lose their fucking jobs. Like that, we got to be focused not just on the presidency, on other shit too. So it's like, we got to just lock it in that we're voting for fucking Biden. He's done work. We can't say that he's just been sitting on his fucking ass, not doing anything. God damn it, the amount of times I had to see him fake run to a podium breaks my heart. So, like no one, but what it looks like, and I hate, and I know that conservatives hate to see to hear this, but when our country was at the lowest, it looks like Joe Biden was the right person to put at the helm to get us going in a direction.
And the thing is like, when it comes, for me, it's like the Republicans do a really, really, really good job of labeling everyone who is a liberal as a pinko communist trans fag.
Demon.
And demon who's gonna suck up their guns into their butthole, suck up all their guns into their big gaping demon butthole. Like that's what every person left of center is to the Republicans, and they're really good at doing that and labeling people that. You can't do that with Joe. We know who Joe is, you know, and I think, you know, so who else is going to come? Who's the answer? And I don't even, we're talking about this like people are like, someone else needs to run. No, I mean, I'm not really hearing that from anyone else. I think a lot of people are.
The current poll is that, well, according to ABC, is 72% of people, including Democrats, don't want Joe Biden to run.
They don't want him to run, but it turns out he's running. So it's like, and so what are the numbers? Biden is still beating, if we're looking at early polls, he's beating Trump.
But I don't understand how he's at 34% approval. Like, what do you want? It's a matter of
people need it to be exactly what they want.
That's what it is. It's a matter of the fact that, God knows I've said this plenty of times on this show. It's the internet generation that wants immediate results, and it's like that's not how government works. Yeah. Like we learned that Schoolhouse Rock. Like that wasn't a short song. You know what I mean? There were a lot of things that had to happen in order to make fucking wheels turn.
But people don't remember that. I remember, you know, Clinton was in the late 90s, post fucking Lewinsky and all that shit. He was in like the 70s. His approval rating was like the 70s. I don't think we'll ever see that again. But you know what I do remember from that time? Gas was like $1.25. I like in the late 90s, I remember gas was fucking insanely cheap. And that's all that fucking people care about. And I truly, like, if gas is cheap and your fucking bananas don't cost 69 cents a pound or whatever, like you're gonna be like, yeah, the president's not that bad. And so I do think the president has done a great job of not having any of this be worse. You know, unemployment is also like the lowest it's ever been, and we've dropped at the fastest rate it ever dropped in the history of this country. So like there are very clear things, like, you know, green energy is being is creating all these jobs in places like Marjorie Taylor Greene. Margie is praising the green jobs that are in her district now, but still wants to defund them. You know, so let them do that. And I mean, we can't even talk about the debt ceiling and the chaos that's about to unleash. And I'm just kind of like, you know what? Let the Republicans. People are smart enough to know what's happening in this country. We talk about how dumb America is, but when it comes to these things, like we know who is going to tank the economy on purpose because of the debt ceiling, because they don't want people that have food stamps.
I'm sorry. That was I coughed and forgot to turn it back on. But what I was saying was, and I don't understand why the conservative right is turning such a blind eye to this like large new voting group that's coming in, because the thing is that they're smart. They see it and they're aware of it. And for the generations prior to them, we were not I don't know. I kind of think that the 90s kids were fucking aware, but like, you know, we paid attention. Like there were things like, you know, we were coming out of the AIDS crisis in the 90s and shit. We knew that things around, but like, I don't know. There's just something, and I've said it on this show before, but there's just something about this new group, because it's like the conservative gross ugliness can't be hidden when like there's cameras everywhere now, and it's just so obviously mean and gross, you know?
And I think when it comes down to it, they are making their states scary and terrible to live in, you know, and as long as they have gerrymandered the country into a world where they're dwindling populations, or maybe they're increasing populations because they breed like rabbits, but like they're you know, there's still parts of the country that don't fucking matter, get all this fucking sway. And that's, a major issue. But when it comes down to it is, look, Clarence Thomas, he's not going to live past the next term. I don't see that happening. So just when it comes down to it, guys, the Supreme Court, we're going to, the old people on the Supreme Court now are the conservatives. So we're going to lose, except for those new three, like Clarence and Alito, they could go. Yeah. in the next 6 years. So let's be sure we're in a position of power to have some positive change in that direction.
Well, we need to so we can make moves to make it like a court that is held accountable too, because I don't know what we have to do to make that a thing. But did you see the GOP's counter ad after Biden announced when he dropped
the AI generated thing?
AI thing, yeah, where it was
I didn't watch it, but I read
everything. Like here's the thing, like I don't understand, and especially the flyovers. When you leave your house, you don't see that. You know what I mean? Like now, granted, when I leave my house, sometimes I see a boarded up building, and sometimes I see the unhoused.
Are they talking about it being a hellscape in the
Yeah. Like this country is a hellscape. It's like I was like, they want to sell you on scenarios that are not happening, all the while they want to make it so that you don't have your Social Security money.
Not to mention, I was reading this in an article. States with stand your ground laws saw an 8 to 11% rise in monthly homicide and firearm homicide rates, contributing to an extra 58 to 82 deaths a month, according to a study last year by an Oxford University team. So stand your ground laws, which exist in red states, are driving up the homicide rates exponentially. And also, I was reading another article based on the conversation we were having last week. Red state gun violence is way worse than it is in blue states. So your dumb laws aren't working. Your justification for your dumb laws are bullshit. And everything that you say that you're doing to make the world better is making it a worse place. So,
but here's the thing:
it's facts.
Is it poor people that are dying? Because that's why they don't care. Like
I don't care either. It's people who are fucking dying.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is like states should care whether their people are poor or rich that they are being murdered at high rates, and so it's like. That's why it's just very hard for me to. I know the blockages that Republicans put in place so that they win elections, so that they can cheat and win elections. I know, but in these certain flyovers that fucking where all this madness is happening, it's like, and the outcry is happening as we're watching the outcry happen. To deaf ears, and that's what we have to watch right now. So it's like, what is the solution?
Well, at least there's no Tucker Carlson magnifying it with his racist microphone, at least for the foreseeable future.
Well,
that's it.
We have come to the end of the show. Do you want to tell people what you're up to?
Sure. If you are in Los Angeles tonight on YouTube, you can see me in Culver City at the Citizen Market. That's Wednesday. And in San Francisco, I'll be at Soda Popinski's on May 18th. And there are some shows in between. Follow me on Instagram, Casey Ley, Ley. That's it for now.
And if you like the Gay Power Half Hour, please go to our iTunes page and subscribe, rate the show, like it, leave a comment about it. It boosts us, apparently. Who knows? I am the Tony Soto Show on Instagram and TikTok. And if you are interested in what I'm doing in drag, follow Tony Soto Productions on Instagram. And don't forget, mark your calendars. May 14th is the Drag Queen of the Year pageant. So if you are in the Southern California area and you have some money to spend on some tickets, then come and join me at the Matspan Theater and root me on as I compete for a $10,000 prize. We'll be back again next week with more of this. So bye.